Welcome back to Cablevision's Neighborhood Journal Hudson News Edition. I'm Sherry Carabin. With the prevalence of the internet and the various social media networks, privacy is becoming a hot-button issue in the legal community. A recent U.S. Supreme Court ruling says police need a warrant before they can place a GPS or other tracking device in a person's car. The decision has opened up yet more questions. Joining me now is Maurice Giro, a partner at Giro LLP Attorneys at Law in West New York. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Sherry.
Let's begin by having you tell us a little bit about this decision.
Well, what the United States Supreme Court ruled was that when a police agency places a tracking device on a person's car, that is a search, and without a warrant, the court ruled that that was a violation of the person's Fourth Amendment rights under the U.S. Constitution. Now, what was interesting about the decision was also what it didn't say. The judge that wrote the decision seemed to focus on the actual placement of the device onto the car as what violated the person's privacy rights. And it left open questions about surveillance that doesn't involve the actual placement of the device on a car and whether that actually constitutes a search.
Does it have any implications in terms of cell phones and police seizing a person's cell phone, perhaps searching and finding information that leads to an arrest?
Yes, absolutely. The opinions that were written, there was a third opinion by Judge Sotomayor, and she wrote that a prior U.S. Supreme Court case that said information that a person shares with a third party is not protected under privacy laws should be re-examined in light of new technology. Now, really what that means is in the way society works today with social networks, Easy Pass, and the way that humans are exchanging information amongst each other, do people actually have an expectation of privacy? So for example, and I'll use Facebook because that's the most prevalent social network, people now have settings where they can decide what information they want to make public and what information they want to make private. So a question that the courts have yet to address is certain information that you share online, will that be protected and be considered private information, or will it be considered accessible to the government without a warrant?
The public seems to have not gotten the idea totally of what social media can do and what it means to actually post something and the implications. Even employers now are looking at Facebook and other things to decide whether or not they want to hire you.
Absolutely. And not only that, I've frequently seen court cases, and particularly cases that I've been involved in, where a person will naively post something on a social network believing it to be innocent, and 6 months to a year down the road it winds up being construed totally against them. So people have to be particularly careful about what information they share about themselves on the internet now.
It sounds as though this area of privacy is exploding.
Absolutely. And with the rate at which technology is expanding now, these are going to be questions that continue to develop more and more, and courts are going to have to address those situations. And as we have new technologies that are being taken advantage of by people, for example, with an Easy Pass system, if someone were to monitor your Easy Pass usage, they could track where you spent an entire day just by what tolls you visited. So as technology advances and as it allows us to share information more easily, we're also going to have to be more careful about what information we share and about what we can expect the government to access.
I have a feeling I'm going to have you back to talk about more of these issues.
I hope so.
Well, thank you very much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Sherry. It's been a pleasure.
And if you would like more information on privacy issues, you can call 201-255-4417 or log on to GiroNJCriminalLawyer.com. And don't go away because we'll be right back.